It's really easy to get caught up in the world of stacking precious metals, and let's face it, we've all made our share of mistakes along the way. In this video, I'll talk about the top 10-11 mistakes that silver and gold stackers make, so stay tuned. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And as always, I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to check out the new video. And if you like what you see here and you want to support this channel, then why not take a jab at that thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. You guys know how much I appreciate the support. Also, click on that bell so you'll be notified when a new video drops. Real quick shout out to all those affected by the hurricane recently. We did okay here in North Carolina with, some minor damage and power outages, but this was still a devastating storm for those south of us. So my thoughts are with you guys as you try to rebuild and move forward. And many thanks for the folks that reached out to me personally. Appreciate it. We did okay. All right, so mistakes we've made as stackers. I'm going to go over 11 of them that seem to be the most common. And I'll even admit to making a few of these on my part when I first started stacking. Look, none of us are perfect, and we have to figure out our own way during these insane times. It's important to realize where we took a wrong turn and make the correction very quickly, or we can lose a lot of money trying to do something we thought was helping us secure our future. You have to be able to correlate between good and bad ways to stack, and that's what we're going to cover right now. Be sure to hang in there at the end as I'll go over a bonus mistake. Let's roll. All right, number 11, basing purchases on market predictions. Well, let's face it, guys, the majority of us aren't qualified to make educated guesses on where silver and gold are going to go from one month to the next. We can try all we want to predict the best times to buy or when PMs are going to dip, but that's not for the average stacker. But we can pay attention to current markets since they'll dictate the best times to buy. But overall, your best bet is to set a budget and dollar cost average each month. In other words, set a specific amount that you're willing to spend and buy the amount you can afford within that budget. Some months will be higher, others lower. In the end, it averages out, and that's your dollar cost averaging. Number 10, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to diversify, folks. And I admit it, this is one mistake I made early on when I started stacking. I mean, I was 100% into silver and only buying a little bit of gold. And before I knew it, my portfolio was skewed on the heavy side with silver. You have to be sure to balance out your metals, and you got to diversify when you can. Also, if you're banking your retirement solely on precious metals, then you might want to reevaluate your portfolio before it's too late. You have to have diversity in stocks, bonds, cash, real estate, and hell, maybe even some crypto, despite the major downturn with it. Precious metals really should only be about 5 to 10% of your entire portfolio. All right, I'm going to give you a quick example of my stacking from when I started to present day. And my balance just wasn't good. My portfolio balance wasn't good, and I'll show you why. This is when I started. You can see I'm massively in favor of silver in comparison to gold, palladium, and platinum. I've got a Pac-Man of silver going on there, and that's just not a good mix. That's not healthy. It was too dominant, too silver dominant when I first started off. Fast forward to today, and I'm a little bit more balanced value-wise. I'm right about 50-50 on silver and gold with platinum and palladium still in there. But it just goes to show that you can adjust your portfolio value-wise to kind of make things even and balance them out. Buying from non-bullion sources and overpaying. Look, I see this all the time. People are actually buying gold and silver from places like Etsy, Amazon, and other crazy places. Look, stick to your LCS and the big online dealers. You get better prices and far more assurance that what you're buying is legit. I mean, Etsy is an absolute hotbed for overpriced fake crap, and most of it's from China. Amazon sellers tend to sell the real deal, but there's fakes on there as well. But the real stuff is insanely overpriced. Stick to your go-tos with the shops and online dealers. Again, this is a mistake that I made when I first started. I was so hyped to get my first piece of silver that I actually bought a silver eagle off Amazon at the ridiculous price of $50. Yeah, I know. Stupid mistake on my part. It was never repeated, and you live and learn. Fractional metals. Look, I'll be honest. I see no real reason to buy fractional silver when it's currently priced as low as it is right now. The numbers just aren't there to support it, ever, because you're typically going to pay ridiculous premiums on the smaller stuff. It's just not a smart buy unless you're going to give it out as gifts of some kind. If silver were to go to a higher price, then maybe we could justify fractional, just not right now. What about gold, platinum, and palladium, though? Well, look, I'm okay with buying those in fractionals because they're far more valuable and pricey. Yeah, you're still going to pay high premiums on that stuff, but it's a great way to add high dollar metals to your portfolio if you're on a budget. Improper storage. This is a debatable topic. I mean, a lot of debate on this. Quite a few stackers that I know are all about safe deposit boxes. Personally, I'm not. I'm of the firm belief that if you don't have your precious metals in your possession, then you truly don't have guaranteed access to it. Now, a bank could close down, leaving you in a state of flux for days, weeks, or even months before you can get your stuff out. And if you're going to invest in high dollar metals and keep them at your house or local hiding spots, be sure to invest in a proper safe, do your homework, and make sure it's fireproof. Look, they're expensive, I get it, but it sure beats the hell out of losing your stuff to theft or fire, right? Number 6, getting into numismatics without understanding what they are. This is another mistake some make early on. They go on forums and YouTube and they see all these fantastic Morgans, peace dollars, pre-33 gold, and other high dollar slab coins, and they get all goo-goo-eyed thinking they have to expand their stacking because, you know what? Everyone else is doing it. Look, numismatics they're a fantastic way to diversify. They're amazing. They're loaded with history, and they generally do hold and gain value. You just can't jump into numismatics without educating yourself first. Get some books, ask questions, watch some videos. Just make sure you do the legwork first, then go out and buy. Very important, or you'll lose money. Number 5, FOMO buying. This is one I see all the time. I see a lot of pissed off newbie buyers out there who panic when the price of silver went up. They bought high and they got burned. Those same buyers are now blasting silver as a poor investment. Now, I've said this before. I don't consider silver an investment. Gold, yes. Silver, no. Silver's value is through its use as an industrial metal, and gold is linked more to a monetary value. Look, I honestly consider my silver a savings account. I'm spending my disposable income on something with an intrinsic value, and I'm always going to get something in return for it when I do decide to sell. If you got into silver as an investment, hoping to make a killing, you chose poorly. That's just not the strength of silver. A lot of people may disagree with that. That's just my personal take. Number 4, buying on credit. This way of buying precious metals can be good and it can be bad. Now, personally, I do use a credit card and I reap the rewards of double cash back on purchases and payments with a Capital One card. I make the purchase and I pay before the interest is added while racking up rewards. And then I take those rewards and buy, guess what? More PMs. Hey, that's free precious metal. Now, the mistake people make is using a credit card and not paying before the interest kicks in, which really compounds the whole idea. You're paying for premiums on the metals, and now you're paying for interest on the credit card at that point. It just makes no sense to push yourself further in a credit card debt while stacking for your future. It's just counterproductive. Number 3, buying from unproven sources. These are the worst. You never want to give your financial information to an unproven source. If you're going to take the chance and buy from an unknown website or a newer website, at least do a whois.com search on the URL. That'll tell you a lot about the site, specifically where it's registered. And if you see China, that's a big no. It'll tell you how long it's been up. Since most scam sites are up for typically a year or less, you'll find out that they're fairly newly registered. 95% of Facebook ads are fraudulent, so stay away from those. Now, my dad, as sharp as he is, he bought a fake eagle from a Facebook ad because it was a great price. And I gave him a little bit of hell for that because he's better than that. He knows better. He just thought he was getting slick. Bottom line, if it's too good to be true, it is. Be careful with your personal information.
You know me? Of course you do. That's because I'm famous.
Number 2, bragging about your stack. I cannot believe how many people show off their stacks on Facebook and whatnot with their name just completely visible, their real name. I mean, this is one of the most vital mistakes people can make. Keep it to yourself. If you're advertising online that you have gold and silver in the house, man, you'd be amazed at how easy it is for potential thieves to track down your address. All you need is a name to start with, and the rest is available online for free. It really is that easy. And if you correspond or do trades or sales with other stackers, you really should be using a generic email address that doesn't associate with your real name. I don't say a word about stacking on Facebook, and most of my family and friends aren't even aware that I'm doing it. I mean, my wife knows, my parents know, and that is about it. Anonymity is vital. Do not set yourself up for theft. And number 1, buying before financial obligations are met. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes stackers have made. Buying outside of your means is a no-no. That's a direct road to financial ruin. You've got to ensure your bills and obligations are paid before putting your money into precious metals. I mean, this is common sense to most of us, but we still see it all the time. I've known a bunch of new stackers that went all in, just buy, only to have to sell their stack within a couple of months because they fell way behind on their bills. What good was that? Be smart, set a budget, stick with it. And a bonus one, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Look, you know, we're anonymous here on YouTube, so we show off a lot of our stack. We see a lot of amazing stuff. There's some folks on here that collect. They've got huge collections of gold. It's pretty impressive. When you're new, don't keep up with that. Don't try to set a standard to keep up with them. They've been doing this for years. If you're just now getting into it, you got to set a pace. Don't try to keep up with these folks. Don't try to buy an expensive piece so you can brag on YouTube about, hey, look what I got. Look, stacking is slow and steady wins the race. All right? Set your average, set your budget, stick with it, and accumulate. But don't try to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, again, some of these guys online have been stacking for years. All right? They've got impressive collections. Doesn't mean you have to match it right off the bat. Take your time. Stack within your means. All right. So there you have it. Top 10, 11 mistakes that stackers make, plus a bonus. I'm sure there are a bunch more, but I figured I'd at least cover the more common ones. And that is going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I will definitely catch up with you in the next episode, but in the meantime, you know the drill. Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, people.